Good morning, class. This is our last discussion for the first quarter. Today, we will discuss the Module 7 entitled Close to You or Come Live in an Outstanding and Safe Environment. But before that, let us have a quick review about the lesson last week. Last time, we talked about the changes, whether physical or chemical, that are useful to our environment and to human only. So, in order for you to answer the looking back, in page 3, you will group the following activities whether they are harmful or useful to one's environment. These are the following activities. Number 1, burning of old tires. Number 2, making compost pit. Number 3, smoke belching vehicles. Number 4, dump garbage on the street corner. 5, recycle plastic bottles. And 6, use eco bag when you buy groceries. As you can see in our looking back, we have here two columns, the useful activities and the harmful activities. You are tasked to group the following activities whether they are useful or harmful. For example, number 1, burning of old tires. Is it useful or harmful? Very good. It is harmful to our environment. So you are going to write it in the column of harmful activities. Do you know now how to answer the looking back? Great! Last week, we also talked about the types of changes: physical change and chemical change. One of the factors that causes changes in materials is the temperature. Some food and medicines will undergo changes, causing it to spoil if they are not properly handled and stored in the right temperature. Changes in materials can also cause pollution in land, water, and air. In this module, you will learn that these harmful effects of changes in material can be reduced. But first, let me provide you some examples of changes that are harmful to environment and how are we going to reduce those harmful effects. Number 1, burning of plastic. So as you can see, burning of plastic is bad to our environment. The harmful effect for that is air pollution. It will pollute our air. How can we reduce it? We can recycle the plastic so it can be useful, or we can still use the plastic in a meaningful way. Second example is disposal of chemicals to bodies of water. This is very bad to our bodies of water. The harmful effect of that is water pollution. It will pollute the water and will cause damage in the living things that live there. Example class, yung mga isda. They will die if there are chemicals that will pollute the bodies of water. The next one is cutting of trees. We all know that this is bad because it will cause flood and landslides. So, how can we reduce it? Maybe if they cut trees, they will plant 3 more trees or many. Not just 3 but 5 or 10 trees so that it will be replaced even if they will cut it. And number 4 is dumping of garbages anywhere. This is really bad because garbages can cause diseases and also it will pollute our land, or the harmful effect of that is land pollution. So how can we reduce it? By reuse and recycle. So we will separate the garbages into biodegradable and non-biodegradable. The biodegradable will be put in a compost pit so it can be used as fertilizer. And the non-biodegradable can be recycled. We can use it in a meaningful way. So those are the examples of changes that are harmful to our environment, and how are we going to reduce the harmful effects to our environment. Now, let me guide you in answering the activities. So for the activity 1, read carefully, write what kind of change happens to the object in each situation. Write PC if it is physical change, or CC if it is chemical change. So this is very easy, class. You're just going to write PC if it is physical change, or CC if it is chemical change. For the activity number 2, look at the picture below and identify the environment affected. Is it air, land, or water? Write all that applies and cite at least 2 harmful effects. Write your answer on the answer sheet found on this page 9 of module. So for example, class, the changes that are harmful to our environment is dumping of garbage o yung pagtatapon ng basura. So ano po yung affected environment doon pag nagtapon tayo ng basura? It could be land and water. Because some people dump garbages in land, sa lupa, at minsan sa tubig. Napupunta na sa ating dagat or other bodies of water. So the affected environment is land and water. Now, I will give you 2 harmful effects if we keep on dumping garbages everywhere. Number 1 is land and water pollution. Of course, it will pollute our land, tsaka yung tubig natin. Maraming mamamatay na isda kasi maraming basura. Second harmful effect is diseases. We all know that garbages causes diseases. Nagkakaroon tayo ng sakit dahil sa mga iba-ibang basura. Paano po yun? Halimbawa, yung langaw, siya ay dumikit sa basura. Tapos yung langaw, dumikit sa kinakain natin. So, anong nangyayari? Napupunta sa atin yung sakit na dala-dala ng langaw galing sa basura. So, garbages can cause diseases. So, that's an example. So, that's what you're going to do in the 3 number. Burning of paper, rusting of nail, and leftover food. Next, for the activity number 3, complete the outline on how to prevent or minimize the harmful effect of changes in the environment. Fit in the needed information from the choices in the box. So, ang gagawin po natin sa number 3 ay, yung mga choices po natin ito. Plant trees and flowering plants. Use organic fertilizer from the compost pit. Work or ride a bicycle to school if not very far from your home. Practice proper waste segregation and disposal. Report smoke, belcher, jeepneys, and tricycles. Do not dump dead animals into the bodies of water. Do not dump toxic waste and chemicals from factories anywhere. So, ito pong mga choices na to ay ilalagay niyo po sila kung paano natin mababawasan yung harmful effect sa ating environment. Halimbawa po, kung paano natin mababawasan yung air pollution, yung water pollution, at yung land pollution. So, for example, plant trees and flowering plants. We can prevent land pollution by plant trees and flowering plants. So, ang sagot ay bonus na po ito. So, mapaprevent po natin ang land pollution by planting trees and flowering plants. So, that's what you are going to do in number 3. In your activity 4, study the pictures, cite ways on how food and medicine are affected by changes in temperature, and identify its harmful effect to one another. So, ang activity 4 po, ang gagawin niyo ay study the pictures, cite ways on how food and medicines are affected by changes in temperature, and identify its harmful effect to one's environment. Also, write your answer on page 9. The first number is done for you. So, there is already an example. Example is leftover food. So, ano po ba yung dapat natin gawin para ma-prevent yung harmful effects ng leftover food sa buhay natin? Siyempre po is to refrigerate them from spoiling. Ilagay sa ref para hindi masira. So, ano po yung harmful effects niya kapag hindi natin nalagay sa ref? So, syempre, magiging spoiled food or mapapanis po siya. And if spoiled food is taken, it can cause diarrhea, food poisoning, and other diseases. So, yun yung magiging masamang epekto sa atin ng leftover food kapag hindi natin nilagay sa ref. So, yun po yung example. Ganun po yung gagawin nyo sa number 2 to number 4. Then, after that, you can now answer the post-test and check your understanding as well as the reflection. So, in your answer sheet on page 9 and 10, there is no place for reflection. So, maglagay po tayo ng isang ekstrang papel para dun po natin ilalagay yung sagot natin sa reflection. But the rest po ng sasagutan ay nandun na po sa answer sheet. So, no need to provide a yellow pad because meron po tayong answer sheet sa page 9 and 10. Magdidikit lang po tayo ng isang papel para sa reflection. So, that's all for today, class. I hope that you learned a lot for this day. See you in our second quarter. Bye!